So the content number 3 shows that interdependence and interrelationship of marker skill of the knowledge. So listening, speaking, and viewing, reading, viewing, and responding, writing, and representing is macro skills of the knowledge. We have also a development of thinking skills, which is critical thinking, creative thinking, and metacognition. So component number 3 is speaking through language. These are allows the student making meaning through language. So component 3 is making meaning through language. So we have here the first topic of component 3 is listening, speaking, reading, writing, and viewing. So before that, I just want to recognize the 4 lessons of content 3, which is the listening, speaking, reading, writing, viewing. That's number 1. Number 2 is the language arts curriculum domains K3, 4, 6, 7, 10, 11, and 12. And the number 3, coherence with the basic education program goals. And the number 4, characteristics of assessment. Let us start the listening, speaking, reading, writing, and viewing. If you have noticed, classmates, in our PDF copy, these words has been marking with check. Let us find why it has a check. In oral language has 2 checks like this one. So anyway, classmates, these are the 5 intricately intertwined and 5 integrated standard. So in oral language, it is obvious. Once we have an oral language, meaning speaking and reading have involved in this oral language. So next is phonological awareness have 1 check. Why? Because in phonological awareness is manipulate the word sounds. Manipulate the word sounds, meaning in phonological awareness, listening has involved here. The next is book and print knowledge. So it also has 1 check. In book and print knowledge is related to spoken language. When we say spoken, it involves speaking. Okay, very good. So next is alphabet knowledge. Has 5 marking check. Why? If you say alphabet knowledge is individual letters name. If we say alphabet knowledge, you can develop your alphabet knowledge through how many standards? Diba? It's right because listening, you have to listen the letter sounds. You have speaking, reading, writing, and viewing. So next is phonics and word recognition has 3 check. So when you say phonics and word recognition, phonics is also a sound of word and recognize what is the word. So it involves speaking, reading, and listening. So fluency has only 1. Obviously, fluency involves speaking and spelling. Also what? It involves writing. Writing and conversation have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So writing is also obvious. It involves writing, speaking, reading, and viewing. So grammar awareness and structure. We have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So writing, speaking, reading, and viewing. So vocabulary development has 5 also. So when you say vocabulary development, if you have a second language, of course, you have to develop or enhance your language through reading, listening, speaking, and viewing and writing. So the next is reading comprehension. In reading comprehension has 4 components. So, estimate and prior knowledge, strategies, narrative tips, information tips. We have 3. Check. So here, 1, 2, 3. So it involves reading, speaking, and viewing. And the second to the last is attitudes toward language, literacy, and literature. We have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Attitude toward language. How you involve to adapt a language toward this language, literacy, and literature. So you should be involved the listening, speaking, reading, writing, and viewing. Also study strategies. How 5? Check. 2, 3, 4, 5. It has also involved the 5 intricately intertwined and integrated standard grammar. So that's all. So any questions and clarifications regarding for this lesson? No, nothing? Okay, thank you for listening, and we have to proceed to the next topic. The next topic is language arts curriculum domains key 3, 4, 6, 7, 10, 11, and 12.
So good morning. So based on Ma'am Kumar, I will discuss some of her discussion. So language arts curriculum domains key 3, 4, 5 to 12. So these are the topics you need to discuss to the students from K to 12. First is oral language. When you say oral language, it is the way you speak or the way you deliver the language you express to the students. Next is the phonological awareness. When you say phonological, it is manipulating the words of sounds or the speech you delivered. So 3 is the book and print knowledge. Being a teacher, you need to deliver to the students or giving them a reference for them to catch up the lesson. So number 4, alphabet knowledge. These are the individual letters, which is you create a word and have a knowledge. Number 5, phonetics and words. When you say phonetics it is the word from the alphabet you create. So number 6, recognition. When you say recognition, the previous discussion. So number 7, fluency. It is the way you pronounce the word with fluency and without mistake. So number 8, spelling. When you say spelling, the spelling word must be corrected. So number 9, writing and composition. So when you write, you must be compose a sentence and must be grammaticized. So next is number 10, grammar awareness and structure. So when you create a sentence, it must be with grammar and construct by a sentence. So number 11, vocabulary development. Vocabulary, it means the word that you mix up a language. Then number 12, getting composition. So you must be read those context with a proper pronunciation. So number 13, listening. So you need to have to be listen. Number 14, attitudes towards language, literacy, and literature. It is the way of a student to have a behavior or attitude towards the way he speaks. So number 15, study strategies. So those are the strategies of a teacher to apply to the students. So that's all.
Good morning to each and everyone. I will discuss in front of you the coherence with the basic education program goals. when we say coherence, is the how it connected each other. So, number one, the K-12 language curriculum ensures that process or product of learning actively foster and contribute to the achievement of the basic education program. So, the K-12 language curriculum, they make sure that our child will be teach in accordingly. In these goals, the learners will learn a lot because, as I have said, they make sure that we will not be going to become doubt in our child anymore. So number 2, yan ha? Number 2. It is number 2, not number 3. So competencies are spiral. When we say competencies, that is our child and how they will become competent in their studies. So competencies are spiral. When we say spiral, it is step by step or a continued learning. When we are a child, we enroll in preschool. Am I right? Then we can step in grade 2 if we don't enroll in grade 1. Yes? Okay. So it is continued learning. So what you have learned in your previous level, it is the continue you can learn at your next level. So number 3, content includes print and electronic text that are age, context, and culture appropriate. So it includes also how our culture becomes appropriate to the curriculum language. How could we understand our classmates without the language? That all culture, all races can understand what they are need to understand. So, assessment procedure should be based on activities that have authentic communicative function rather than ones with little or no in-strict communicative value. These activities are based on actual performance in authentic situation with the learner is likely to encounter in his or her daily life. So, assessment was the most important in the role of student. So how could we know that we learn more if there is no assessment? Assessment is also an examination, right? Okay. So that's all, and thank you.
So good morning everyone. So I am the last reporter of group 3. So the last one and the component 3 is characteristic of assessment. So we have a 2. The one is proximity to actual language use and performance. And number 2 is a holistic view of the language. Okay. And the number 1 proximity to actual language use and performance is the time that the teacher we need to do the assessment and the children. She gave us a lot of activities. That activities that give of the teachers must have a situation to make the learners if in her daily life she will encounter. For example, a teacher in the classroom gave an actual activities like a group activities. So when he gave example of the activities that the give of the teacher is earthquake, so they will perform in the class. So if in their house they will feel that have an earthquake, they know what they will do. So that is the proximity to actual language. You can teach them, you give them an activities that will be actual in the classroom, actual that they will do. So number 2 is a holistic view of language. So holistic view of language is aspect of language. So we have a aspect of language that we call a phonology. phonology. And the second is grammar and vocabulary. These three is connect and the language. When we say phonology, it is how they learn a sounds connect to the language. And grammar, that's grammar is forming letters and arrange a word in a sentence. So that is the time that the child will be learn how to arrange the letters and the sentence, the correct grammar. So number 3 is vocabulary. It is the meaning. If they have no understand in the topic that we will teach them, they will go to the vocabulary, then they will know what is the meaning of that word. And we have also a core skills of language. The one is listening. Okay, when you see listening, it is the sounds, or it is you can use your ear to listen a sound. So that is connecting in language, because you cannot form a sound if you have no language. And the next one is that we call the speaking. So it is familiar to us, the speaking. Right now I'm speaking. So it is a part of language, the speaking. The one is reading. Reading also is the part in the language. Example, when you're reading in the book. So you can that we call a language, because the word that you read there is a language. The number 4 is writing. Of course, the writing is connect in the language, because you cannot you cannot create a language if you are not writing a words. So this 4 is very important in the language, because we cannot create a language without that 4. So I hope you learned. So we have some question about my characteristic assessment report. Okay, na. So thank you for your